Hello everyone and welcome to today's episode of What If Luffy Gets Isekaied into Naruto World as a Naruto. So today we are going to talk about Luffy's life in a Naruto world as a Naruto. Basically he's not going to have any memories of his past life or rather his life in One Piece world, but he's going to have all of the characteristics what makes Luffy a Luffy, all of that he will retain in Naruto as well. So let's start with three main ground rule that we must put before we begin the story. First thing that I want to talk about is devil fruit and haki. Basically there is no devil fruit and haki concept in Naruto world, but we are going to introduce that to Naruto world because without it the story will be same as old as it is, and we need to make some changes to make this story interesting. So let's not forget that we are going to introduce devil fruit, which would be pretty coincidence or rather just a magic, what if magic, but haki is going to be explanatory. We'll go through a series of different events which will lead him to master haki, and we'll go on that later on. For now let's talk about the second ground rule, which will be the story itself. Basically Naruto story is mainly run by the other characters like the villains or rather some other characters, so there would not be any changes in the story itself. There will be some changes obviously because Naruto is going to affect the story differently because he is not going to be Naruto, but there will not be major changes like war or anything. We all know that it only happened because of other characters, not Naruto himself. So keeping that in mind, let's move on to the next ground rule. The final ground rule will be Luffy's character. I said this before, but Naruto won't have Luffy's memory, but he's going to have Luffy's character, what makes Luffy who Luffy is. So with that in mind, let's start the story from the very beginning, which is the birth of Naruto. I will not go through the entire history of Naruto because we all know what happens. So summary goes like this. After Naruto's birth, a masked man attacks them and he takes away Kushina, where Naruto's father takes away Naruto, and that masked man unseals the nine-tailed fox inside Kushina, and then he proceeds to command the nine-tail to attack the village. As a Hokage, Minato now have to save the village, and he saves the village but by sacrificing his child because he seals half part of the nine-tail inside a newly born child who is just even not a year old, even not a day old. And this is really cruel, but it is really cruel because Naruto did not even get a chance to live a proper child life. You are sent to live alone when you are just a 4-year-old kid, and he had to live alone, eat whatever he can, and that's how his life begins. That is pretty cruel, but now he's not a Naruto. Now he's a Luffy, or rather he has the personality or characteristic of Luffy because during his birth Luffy's soul somehow ended up in his body and merged with the baby soul of Naruto. And here is a point. Naruto is baby's soul. His soul is still very small, while Luffy is an adult when he reincarnates into Naruto. So there will be definitely a change in Naruto, like the character change, because we are going to establish the character right from the beginning. And now let's skip to the age of 5. We are going to skip to age of 5 because that's where the story truly begins. As a child, he's obviously going to be hated by everyone. No, as a demon child, he's going to be hated by everyone in the village. So he is living quite a harsh life, but Naruto somehow doesn't care. He doesn't care whether anyone hates him or not, because in his mind he doesn't need to care about anyone's view. He is not going to be a hero. He's not going to be a hero. He doesn't need to care about anything at all. He just lives his life. But he at an early age understands one thing. As a freedom loving boy, he cannot get freedom without strength, because Naruto loves to eat. As a Luffy's character, he loves to eat. He loves to eat more and more, but to eat he needs money to buy food, and to get money he needs to work as a ninja, and to become a ninja he needs to get strong. And there is another thing, just by hearing the word ninja in his head, he gets excited. He doesn't know where this excitement is coming from, but he gets excited and he wants to become a ninja. And this is where the story truly begins, because from this moment on, Naruto will strive forward. He will train to become a better ninja, a stronger ninja, and he eventually learns one thing: the Hokage of the village. Especially when he joins the academy, he learns the main thing about Hokage, that Hokage is the strongest in the village, and if he becomes Hokage, he can eat all he wants. He can eat everything he wants. So his goal is now to become Hokage because he wants to eat. We all know that Luffy loves to eat, and now as a Naruto, he is not just satisfied with the cup noodles. He wants to eat more. To eat more, he wants to get stronger, and to get stronger he goes to the forest and starts training. He starts exercising, he starts pushing the rocks, he starts kicking and punching the trees. He basically starts taijutsu without even realizing it. And because of the existence of chakra in Naruto, he gets stronger very quickly. Like, he doesn't get super strong, but training for a year, like the entire year, he gets very strong, because the next thing that happens is that he's going to face off against the bullies who try to pick on Hinata. And this happens like a normal night where Naruto was just walking under the snow. He sees a girl getting picked by few boys, and she is terrified, crying. He goes to help her. So what happens here is that Naruto starts getting into fight. Like, he really has gotten stronger, and he can easily beat those genin, because they cannot even use a ninjutsu properly. I mean, we didn't see them using ninjutsu. They were just ganging up on him. But now that Naruto is stronger than ever, he's obviously going to fight back, and he's going to win. He's going to impress Hinata. And as shy as Hinata is, she's definitely going to faint. It's going to be normal. And like that, the story will progress to the age of 7. At the age of 7, he's practicing or training in the forest as usual, but this time he's going to pick a fight with a tiger. Yes, he's going to pick a fight with a tiger that he cannot defeat. He runs away. He runs like a child. He cannot defeat the tiger, and because the tiger chases him, tiger is obviously faster, and because tiger is fast, he got no choice but to climb a tree. He climbs a tree, but the problem is tiger can still knock down that tree. Tiger really was enraged by a child challenging him, and so tiger truly tries to knock down the tree. And during this time, Naruto releases a strange sound, or rather embarrassing sound, from his stomach, because he's very hungry. It has been over hours since he hasn't eaten anything, and because of his hunger, he tries to find something to eat in the tree. And no, you know what? We have what if magic here, and the devil fruit is grown on that tree. Yes, only one devil fruit, and it's going to be Gamu Gamu no Mi, and that fruit is there. So he picks up the fruit. He looks at its weird looks, I think color, weird shape and color, but he was really hungry, so he still eats that fruit. And when he eats that, the tiger knocks the tree so much that he loses his balance. But because his leg is still wrapped around the branch, when he falls, he finds his leg stretching and his head hitting the ground. The tiger sees that, and when he sees the baby with that much stretchy leg, the tiger gives the most comical reaction of all time. He just freaks out and tries to run away, but then he realizes why is he running away from a baby? Before he could turn around. Luffy just or Naruto just flung out somewhere else. He just flung out into the sky and falls very far from that area, but he doesn't sustain any damage. He's completely like resistant to our damage. He doesn't get hurt. He doesn't see any injuries. So he gets confused by it because he has fallen many times, and every time he falls it hurts. It's That's basically human biology. But now he's not feeling pain, so he runs toward the village. He finds third Hokage, and because he has some kind of close relation, like it is, he still believes that for third Hokage is his grandfather. Like he treats him as a grandfather, even though third Hokage is probably a city person that I don't want to talk about. So let's get on with it. He goes to third Hokage. He asks third Hokage about his recent change, and third Hokage was watching. Hirojin was watching everything from the crystal ball that he has invented, and this makes him confused because this is not expansion jutsu. Naruto is not from Akimichi clan, and if his body was expanding instead of stretching, you would have believed that somehow Minato got, like, I don't know, maybe anti, I don't know, but that doesn't happen. So he's obviously curious about Naruto's new ability, and he also knows that he got this change from the fruit, but he still asks Naruto about everything. Naruto, as a child, he tells Hiruzen about everything that happened in the forest, and Hiruzen asks him to go home, relax, and come tomorrow because he's planning something for Naruto in his mind. So what third Hokage or Hiruzen was planning was actually trying to teach Naruto chakra control. Naruto was only 7 years old, so it's going to be hard, but Kakashi was able to become a Chunin at the age of 6. So why can't Naruto do that? From the next day, Hirojin starts teaching Naruto chakra control. It's going to be really hard, and Naruto is not a person that can quickly catch on to the things, but he is still good with like learning ninjutsu or anything related to that, especially if it is done practically. He doesn't give up. So now we skip to the age of 8 because during this year he has been training chakra control, and he has been learning to control his stretchy body. Like it is going very well, but now this is the time to face the tiger once again, and this is going to be dramatic because he's not going to face the tiger directly. He's still training alone, but there are other kids, like other kids including Kiba, Ino, Sakura, Choji. Like these kids are playing on the forest hide and seek, and Ino and Kiba hides near the den of the tiger, like really close, and tiger senses them, smells them, and he comes out of the den to basically kill them. But there is a one problem. Naruto arrives on time. For Tiger, that is a bad news because Naruto has learned to control his devil fruit, and he also has gotten a lot stronger. So when they starts fighting, Naruto gives first Gum Gum No punch on Tiger's face. Tiger did not fly, like his strength is still not enough to knock out Tiger at once, but Tiger could not scratch him because Luffy was constantly grabbing branches around him and flying here and there. With his chakra, he was a lot faster than normal Luffy. He was moving here and there, dodging Tiger's attack while punching Tiger on his face. Because he was so good at fighting, Kiba and Ino were left stunned. They haven't seen Naruto for a while. He rarely comes to academy. He still is good at fighting. Like whenever there is taijutsu or normal battle in the academy, he wins. Like normally he wins. So but they didn't know he could fight off against a tiger, and he had a stretchy body like Akamichi clan. Okay, Akamichi clan is expansion, but let's just say they think that Akamichi clan and his jutsu are similar. Of course they are not going to remain silent. I mean, Kiba is obviously not going to remain silent and let Naruto hog all the fun. He's also going to join, but he's going to be a nuisance for Naruto because of him. Naruto had to properly fight and coordinate with Kiba. Naruto wasn't good with that. Naruto was never good with fighting, asking for others' help. But this time he had to do this because he could not defeat Tiger on his own. So he tries some teamwork. He tries to cooperate with Kiba. He uses his rubber body to distract the tiger while Kiba launches some attacks. But Kiba is still a kid. He is not going to hurt the tiger. But because of that, tiger is going to get distracted, and then Naruto attacks the tiger. Like this, they are going to continue until the tiger gets really tired of them and leaps to his den. Obviously they cannot kill the tiger at their age. So now Naruto has a new friend, which Ino, obviously, because he was a good friend with Kiba, Shikamaru and Choji, but he was not friends with Ino. Obviously now they are close because Naruto literally saved her. Of course, that's not the enough reason for Ino to just stop chasing Sasuke and start chasing Naruto. That's not going to happen. So now we are going to have a major skip because we are finally going to the graduation time. Like this is the point where the story truly begins, and unlike the original, Naruto is going to graduate because remind you, he has learned chakra control for almost 4 or 5 years, and this means he is quite good with controlling his chakra, learning clone technique and substitution jutsu, all of these. He's quite good with that, and he learns them very quickly, even though his chakra reserve is massive. This is the advantage of learning chakra control at early age, which he obviously did. But you know what? Mizuki is still going after Naruto because he knows, or rather he has seen Naruto turning from a small age, and he knows that Naruto really wants to get stronger, and he will teach him the shortcut to get stronger. Obviously right now Naruto is still struggling whether he should take a shortcut or not. But when he goes home after the graduation, he sits on the table or chair. He takes out the cup of noodle and starts eating it. At this moment, he realizes something. He was still very weak. He was still not able to afford any good food. He wanted to eat good food, but he could not afford it, and this breaks him a lot. Like he had never enjoyed a good food in his life, and he knows that if he gets stronger he can obviously earn more, and he can get good food. So he decides to take on Mizuki offer and decides to steal that scroll. He still doesn't know the consequences of stealing, but he does not think that it is going to be that bad. So he steals the scroll, forbidden scroll, and the same thing happens when he goes to Mizuki, finds Iruka sensei, and this confuses him because Iruka was searching for him with a strange box on his hand. And when he finds Naruto, he asks what Naruto was doing, and Naruto didn't reveal the scroll to him. He lied to him, and at this moment Iruka takes out the cake from that box, and he says that Naruto always wanted to eat something good, and since this is a graduation, since this is the date they are going to part away, he's going to give Naruto a treat. Their relationship is still going strong, like they are in good relationship because Iruka still slowly understands Naruto's pain, and they became close. Like only Iruka, Hiruzen and Hinata were the people who did not look at him with hatred or anger. Luffy or Naruto was really good at reading emotions, and he knows that these three people do not hate him. Iruka hated him at the beginning, but he slowly understood Naruto's pain, and he slowly began to realize and start loving him like a child, like more than a student. So obviously Naruto feels guilty, he feels hatred toward himself. Tears falls down his cheeks, and at this moment he reveals everything to Iruka. And at this moment Mizuki arrives, and Mizuki starts talking crap about Naruto being a nine-tailed fox, being a demon child, and this crap. And Naruto finally launch about the demon inside of him, and Iruka asks Naruto to run away. Cake drops on the ground with grounds, while Iruka goes against Mizuki facing him, although Iruka quickly gets overpowered by Mizuki, and after that Mizuki goes to chase Naruto. But at this moment Naruto still opens the scroll. He knows that he has to fight back, but he obviously knows the gap between him and Mizuki. There is a lot of gap. Mizuki is tuning. He just became a Kenin. Even if he is powerful, he cannot defeat him. So when he looks into the scroll, he finds a jutsu which was multi-cyclone jutsu. He immediately launched that jutsu, and with that jutsu he goes back to fight Mizuki, and with his Gum power and multi-cyclone, he obviously overpowered Mizuki in an instant. But here is something you need to understand before we move on. Naruto chakra is he's alone. That's not mixed by nine-tailed chakra. There is no nine-tailed chakra leaking out. There would be some amount, but that's not going to be consequential to breaking or weakening the seal, because Naruto never truly got angry and sad by villagers ignoring him, treating him like a demon. He never get that kind of negative feeling. So without those negative feeling, the nine tail could not break or weaken the seal. And so basically Naruto was not able to create a lot of cyclones, but he was still able to create some around 100 or over, so which would be enough, more than enough to defeat Mizuki, because he also has Gum power. There is nothing stopping him from defeating Mizuki. And before he ran away because he thought the gap between him and Mizuki was enormous, but when he starts fighting it became easy for him. And after he defeats Mizuki, they go back to Hokage's office, and Naruto apologizes to Hiruzen for stealing the scroll. Obviously he's not punished that harshly, and we move on to the final arc of this video, which is training arc. Haha, just kidding. We are finally ending this video right here, right now, and if you like this video, please click the like button and also subscribe for more. I'm obviously going to drop part 2, part 3, part 4. We will go on, and this is just my first video. I hope you like it. I hope you subscribe the channel, and I hope you enjoy this video. Comment down what are the mistakes that I made, and also see you real soon.